Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, today is going to be a very fun stream because this is going to be my chance um, to answer all your questions, show you some gameplay and all that good stuff for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, one of the things that I want you to know that I have already 2 videos on the channel right now that go over both Yasuke and No-HUD gameplay. So if you don't care about me answering questions here or whatever, you know, those 2 videos are on the channel. You can watch it after the live stream and we go over everything. But I just want to let you guys know that there are 2 videos right now that are on the channel that just got put up. And they showcase each individual's gameplay, you know, free roam, a little bit of story, a little bit of side activities, parkour, you know, all the different types of things that you can get into and stuff for the game. So this stream here is going to be about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, somewhere around in there. And what the focus of this is that we are going to go over some of the gameplay. I'm going to like break it down and show you guys little aspects from all of the questions and stuff that you guys have for me, because a lot of you want to know just how good is Assassin's Creed Shadows. So it's, you know, my job to show that gameplay to you guys, to give you what you want, to be there for you, so to help you answer or to give you the answers to the questions that you all have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to that specific video that I put out where you guys answered or you guys asked all the questions. I'm going to get through some of those questions. We're going to have gameplay on in the background, and so you can watch the gameplay while I answer these questions. If you have any questions yourself, what I want you to do is I want you to, in capital letters, put question and then ask your questions. So what I'll do is once I get through some of the questions here that were asked in the previous video I did, then I will go over your specific questions as well. I'll kind of go back through the chat and make sure that I hit those questions. So if you have a question, yo, I'll solve it. Check out this beat while my deeds. No, seriously though, if you have a question, put in, you know, big capitals question, and then, or, you know, say your question and I will get to it as soon as I'm done with all the ones that I have here, because you guys sent me a lot of questions, like the most comments that I've had in years on a video, probably. So I'm excited to do this. I'm excited to show off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up some of the footage that I have of this game, and I'm just going to let it play in the background while I answer all of your questions. So I'm bringing this up here real quick. So there you go. I'll have this in the background. I'm going to probably turn this down just a bit. Let me get the audio correct. There you go. So this will be significantly lower than me talking or whatever, but this is just here to show you guys some gameplay. So this is just straight up the gameplay that I was able to play. So let me explain the situation. Okay, so I was able to play about 4 hours, give or take. I would say it's more close to about 3.5 hours, just because, you know, there's a presentation that we have to sit through. It takes a while for everybody to show up. The presentation that we went through was just kind of showcasing what we were going to get to play and some of the things that they have going on in the future for Assassin's Creed Shadows and future beyond that as well. So I'll get to all of this stuff here. So it was a remote event. So just so you guys know what a remote event means, it means that I was playing this game on PC from my house and I was using the Ubisoft Connect app. So they have this situation where I can connect to a computer that they have wherever they are, like a server or something like that, and that I can play it streaming. Just think of Xbox when you stream, you know, Xbox Cloud games or something like that. It's essentially streaming from another computer that they have on hand. So I got to play in 1080 because obviously we can't stream in 4K. So the footage you're seeing here, even though this video is in 4K, this footage you're seeing here is 1080. So obviously it looks a lot better in 4K. On my 2 exclusive videos that I have out right now for both characters, I do have some 4K footage thrown in there from the prologue. So I'm just trying to, I want to make sure I get all this out first. So yeah, so remote event. Obviously, as you can see in the bottom right, it's a work in progress. So I'll just tell you straight up, no glitches, no bugs. This is literally, legitimately the best demo of a game that I have played months before it's released. At least definitely from Ubisoft. So, you always get crazy things that happen, when you're playing games early, because usually the builds that you're playing are extremely even earlier than what's currently out at that time, because they have to set this stuff up months in advance. But I will definitely tell you that I experienced no glitches or bugs. There was only one thing that happened during my entire playthrough, 3.5 hours. And that one thing that happened was me going into the menu as Yasuke, and then the menu just not loading. That was the only thing that happened. We restarted the game, and then it never happened again. So you could call that whatever you want, but that was literally the only thing in my entire 3.5 hours that happened. All right. So like I said, play 3.5 hours. We started with playing the prologue. The prologue takes about total about an hour. You play as both characters. Each have a kind of a separate story that leads into them coming together. So, and it kind of flows along at the same time. You'll notice that what's really cool about this game is even if you select one character, in the world, the other character is still going around doing what they would be doing. So, the missions are different depending on the character that you choose to go into the world as. So if you, let's say on a mission you choose Naoi here, her mission might be to infiltrate this area, right? Whereas if you pick Yasuke, his mission's not going to be to infiltrate an area because he's a freaking samurai. So he's probably going to go through the front door of another location. So essentially, there are missions that can tie together that they would be doing the same thing, but there are missions as well that they will be doing different things. So there is a reason to play both characters because you're going to get the full sense of the story. This isn't like Assassin's Creed, the previous games here where you had two protagonists and you just choose one and the other one really doesn't exist, or something kind of like that. The second thing I want to talk about is before we started, we had an option to choose Canon mode or non-Canon mode. So what that means is if you choose Canon mode, it just represents the fact that everything you do is pre-selected for you. So it's the way the story actually goes, and there's no difference in the story. It's just kind of like, this is what you see. Oh, sorry, I'm doing something here real quick. Essentially, it's just like the game plays for you, except for you're playing the game. It makes the decisions for you. So there are moments in the game where you can select which character to go into. There are moments in the game that you can select what dialogue you want to choose. The game chooses for you in those instances because it's got a specific canon that it's trying to tell. And so keep that in mind. I chose to do the non-canon because I wanted to be able to make decisions and change things and stuff like that. But there is a specific way that the game is going to be canon-wise for future games, obviously. And there's a mode in there that allows you to switch between that. So let's get into the gameplay, okay? I'm going to give you my overall feeling of the game first, then I'm going to get to all the questions and stuff. So out of the 3.5 hours that I played both characters. This was the location that we got to explore. It's just a tiny area in this entire map. I'll show you the map here in a minute. It's a huge map, just like you would expect. And there's a lot of things to do. The game's a little different in terms of how you unlock things and see things. As you can see there, you almost think of Shadow of Mordor, like when you get to those towers and then you can see what's in the thing, and then you look at them and then you see them or whatever when you're observing, and then boom, now you can select those and place the markers so you know where to go and things like that. The game looks great. There was a little bug issue, I would say, right there, like textures not rendering in. Not a big deal or anything like that. I mean, it didn't take anything away from me or whatever. But the overall, remember, this is just 1080. Even though you're seeing it in 4K upscaled, it's just 1080. But the game still looked really, really good. Now, I was playing online, of course, so I had a little bit of lag, like every time you play online. It's just how it is when you're streaming a game. Here's the map. The map is huge. It's similar to the maps that you've seen in all the previous Assassin's Creed games. You've got your little sections here, and you've got your question marks that you need to go out and see, because we went out and observed that kind of thing in the environments and stuff like that. This was the only location that we got to run around in. Obviously, there's significantly more locations here. And yeah, okay, so my initial thoughts on the game are this. I loved it. Okay, when I went to the preview event from Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I was super excited because I'm a huge fan of the Viking era. My wife's a huge fan of the Viking. We're big history buffs. But when I got into that game, something just didn't feel right. It felt too bloated. It felt like not enough time was spent on individual things. You know, it felt like it was made for an open world game as opposed to being made to tell a story. It was like the world was made and then the story was told inside it. Does that make sense? This game does not feel like that at all. Yes, the map is big. Yes, there are plenty of things to do inside the map. Side missions, of course. Also, like side activities. So if you liked Ghost of Tsushima, then expect some of these side activities to be kind of like that. I don't want to sit here and compare Ghost of Tsushima, which is an amazing game, obviously, to this game. Although there is some similar comparisons that need to be made. But if you liked the little activities, like kind of like, you know, the bamboo activities or the prayers or the things like that, there are some things that are similar to that in this game. But they're not exactly the same, obviously. Like in this game, each character has different activities that they can do. So one activity will not be available to a different character, like say the archery. So just like in Ghost of Tsushima, there was archery. Well, in this game, there's archery for Yasuke. So you can do that. It's archery on your horse. It's kind of like you go down a straight line and then there's a bunch of targets that you need to hit as you're racing down the line and stuff. Pretty cool. He's got katas to do, which is another cool thing, like kind of a mini game, just kind of like how you did with the bamboos, but a little different, but somewhat similar. Yeah, here is the inventory system for Niobe. You can move your character around. This is also how you change characters at any given moment. So as you can see below, it's hard to see because the observe is kind of stuck on there, which wouldn't normally be there. Obviously, I'm sure they'll have that fixed. But you just hold down the X button if you're on a Xbox controller for the PC like I was, and you can switch your characters at any moment. What happens is it gives you a big cinematic where it kind of shows you the world. It goes through some different environments, and then, you know, you're in the world as the different character. Yeah, so let me make it a little bit bigger screen for you guys. And remember, all this stuff that you're seeing is going to be in those 2 videos that I have out on the channel right now. If you want to see that in, you know, the biggest of quality, and you know, it's going to be in there as well. You can take a look at your weapons. You can see here there's it's set up very similar to some of the previous games. You can visualize your weapons and stuff. There's just a lot of great options. This is the full game, yes, but we just experienced like a small portion of it. The prologue, which was about an hour long between both characters, about 30 minutes each or so. And yeah, so listen, I'm not here for any of that. You know, I don't trust Ubisoft kind of thing. I'm here to play video games. So I understand if you have a distaste for a company because of their practices that they do, but my job here is not to worry about that. My job is to play the games that hundreds and hundreds of developers that have nothing to do with that type of hate. You know, I don't play games for corporations. I play games for the developers and for the people that love to create the stuff like this. So I'm playing for them. I'm not playing for Ubisoft. I'm playing because I just love games in general, and I want to show these games off. And I think they've done a very good job. My initial thoughts are this: I hope it's going to be a success, and I think it will be a success. I will say this: I will give you a little caveat. If you go into this game and you think it's back to the old formula of Assassin's Creed and not still a part of the RPG era of Assassin's Creed, then you will be disappointed. This game is, in its truest form, an RPG still, right? The way the skills work, as you can see here, There's a lot of skills to unlock for each character. It's not like Valhalla. It's not like generic, you get an extra buff here and then it just keeps going and going. It's like an infinite amount of skills. It's not like that. It's like this, where you have different abilities that you can unlock, master points, and some of them have double things that you can do. You get knowledge points based off of the different activities that you do. Oh yes, Ryo, I will tell you this right here. When I started climbing some of these big structures, the first thing I thought was Tenchu, and I was like, this is awesome. I never got that feeling in Ghost of Tsushima. Never got that feeling once about Tenchu, about those old games like that. But when I was playing this as the Shinobi character, I 100% had that feeling, and I think they did a great job with it. And another thing is, you will be very, very surprised with what they've done with the samurai character. Now, of course, I'm going to show off all of the samurai character as well here, but you will be very, very surprised with what with the attention and the love that they gave to that character. I know historically it's all wrong. We get it, understand. People are going to be upset because, it doesn't make sense. It's not being historically accurate and all that kind of thing. They're taking a little bit of their own kind of take on, the story and all that kind of stuff or whatever. But the story that is there and the way that it presents itself is is done very well. The graphics look very similar to Mirage, but Mirage had great graphics, and I really enjoyed those graphics. The characters themselves are very detailed, and they look really, really good. You have a lot of things, a lot of skills to upgrade for different weapons. Each weapon has a skill that you get. So don't think of this as there's like 5,000 different types of weapons in this game. No, you've got essentially 3 different slots for your things. Like you have your katana has its own slot. Then, and it's the same thing for when you're playing as Yasuke. He's got 3 different types of weapons, and then you can have essentially different sheaths of those types of weapons, just essentially how it was in Ghost of Tsushima. Like I said, I don't want to sit here and compare the 2 games, even though you could say they are very similar, but you get the sense in exactly how that is. So at this point, I'll start getting to some of the questions, and like I said, my overall thoughts, I really enjoyed it. I hope it does well. It just depends on if enough people are going to give this game a shot, and I think they should. One thing that I really can't talk about, but I'll mention, is the new Animus system is really cool. So just think Call of Duty or think Assassin's Creed Unity. If you guys remember at the beginning of Assassin's Creed Unity, and how it went through that thing at the very, very beginning when it started up, and you had all these selections to choose from different adventures, right? You guys remember a few years ago when they announced that the Assassin's Creed brand is going to go into like a hub world kind of area, and then you go into separate adventures and you do that. So this is the start of that, and you're going to see that when you play the game. You'll have all the different adventures that you can choose from the starting with the RPG era of games. So it's all going to be like one hub world, and then you go off into your ventures from there. I thought it was pretty cool. I did not get a chance to see any of the hub world or any of the home. So there is a home location that you have where you can, like, when you go around and you do side missions and you gain levels and things like that, you unlock like, think of like Harry Potter, right? Or not Harry Potter, but think of Hogwarts, when you had your like little areas where you could add couches and add different stuff like that. Well, it's kind of like that. So you have your home area and you can go about the world, unlock things, and you can bring those back into your hub area and then use those to decorate, to make the location look really cool, and different things like that. It's kind of like your hub area. I never got to actually partake in that. That wasn't something they showed off to us, so they're just not ready to show that off 100% yet. But there were some pictures and things like that that was in there that kind of show kind of like a a game, not really a game, but kind of like Fallout 4, where you're going around adding certain things to the areas and creating your own kind of like look for the area that you're currently in. Stuff like that. So let's get to some of the questions here. Like I said, I go through, what you're seeing here is just kind of showcasing all of her, you know, inventory stuff. So I'll skip a little bit of this. I'll probably have a video showcasing all of this later, but you can see there's just a lot of different things to unlock here in the skills section and whatnot. So let's go back here. You can see there's six different categories to choose from. Excuse me. All right, so let's get to some of the questions. First of all, I'm sorry I didn't hear it again. It did. Oh, I have paused alerts on, so that's my bad. Let's see if I can get that to... So I have this turned off. Thank you guys for the re-memberships from Mario, celebrating 32 months. How is the game? Is it worth checking it out myself? I'm going to say yes. Of course. Listen, if you're on the fence of getting this game because whatever reasons that you want to use, then make sure you check out the gameplay that I'm going to have for you, and then look at it and see if the game is going to be for you or not. I mean, that's totally up to you. I can only show you the gameplay and give you my opinion on the game. That is up to you to make the decision. I think it's worth it. I think what they've done, the extra time that they've taken with the game, is a good thing, and I love it. I really do. Renee celebrates 52 months of membership. Much love to you. Thank you for the 52. And yeah. So all right, let's move on with some questions here. All right, this is taken from, like I said, all the questions that you guys asked me on the video that I put out. Okay. And we will get to Yasuke's gameplay. Don't worry. So right now we're just kind of showing off a little Naoe. All right. So from Giaffe, he asks, please show us some gore and show the HUD settings. So, all right. This is the normal HUD that you see. So there's a lot of things on screen. You can adjust the HUD settings any way you want. You can have it to where there's nothing on screen. You will see some gameplay of that. I do turn off the HUD completely. It became super hard because I had no idea what to do at that point. So nothing shows up at that point. Like, you don't get any information at all when you turn the HUD completely off, obviously. So it's mainly for people that just want to go around and explore the environment. I do show off a little bit of that in just a little bit. Let's see. Maniams9771 asks, ghosting. I want to know how visible it is. Are you talking about like ghosting between your, like, when you're moving around your character? I didn't notice any ghosting. But then again, I was playing online, remember, 1080p online, streaming the game. So I myself didn't notice any ghosting, but you guys be the judge in the gameplay that you see. Okay, here we go. Damas Mini7. I'm most curious to see the extent of Yasuke's limitations from a mobility perspective compared to Naoe. I'm also very curious if stealth is even remotely an option for Yasuke. He could be a fantastic social stealth option if done right. So, to answer your question, he can be stealthy, and I know it's ridiculous to look at, and the game knows it. You're gonna see a funny thing in the Yasuke video that I did. It's on the channel. I don't know if I'll show it on here or not, but I went around and tried to grab a viewpoint as Yasuke, and you know, as Naoe, it's super easy to get your viewpoints because you have your grappling hook that you can use to go into the. So let me put this here. It's not like previous games where every single object in the environment can be climbed. That is gone. It's not like you could just climb every bit of rock you see or everything you see in the environment. You cannot do that anymore. You cannot. Everything has to have like some type of reason to climb or something for you to grab a hold of to climb. If you cannot climb it, then there might be an option for you to use your grappling hook. So because of that, it's definitely different. You're not going to be able to climb everywhere you want. You're going to have to use your grappling hook a little bit more. So when you're Yasuke, you can not climb very good at all. You can still climb, but if something is out of reach because you need to use a grappling hook, you can't do it. So what the game does is it gives you different ways to climb. So see, like right there, like I can't, like there's nothing for me to grab. I can't you know, do the thing there to get around to the other side. So it's going to take you a while. Like, see, I was getting very confused. You can jump off the walls like that and stuff, because I was like, huh, I thought I'd be able to just, because normally you're just able to climb everything, but that is gone in the game. You can't just climb everything you see. But it's really fun as Yasuke, because you have to find the different things that the developers have put in the environment that allow you to continue to move up. So yes, you can grab, at least from what I did, every viewpoint that I got, I was able to get with Yasuke. You just got to think a little bit more about how to do that. It's not something you can just look and say, I'm going to climb here, and then with Yasuke and do it. Also, when he uses... he's not an assassin, okay? So keep this in mind. Yasuke is not an assassin. He doesn't have an assassin blade. He cannot do the things she can do, but he can still do a leap of faith. But it's hilarious, because it's this big dude doing a leap of faith, and he's screaming like almost the entire time because he's scared for his life. And then when he's done, he's all like, "Oh, I'll try to do that better next time." You know, it's a pretty funny animation when he jumps off. It's not like this, whee, you know, thing where the assassin's going like this and stuff like that. It's nowhere like that. It's more like, "Oh shit," you know. And it's hilarious. I really loved what they did with that. I thought it was super, super funny. All right, we got something here. Let me see what that is. Thank you, Nathan, for the subscription. All right, well, one thing I want to mention as I'm right here in this section here. So she does some awesome, really cool maneuvers, like when she's getting down from places and she's jumping from stuff. Like, the animations in this game are done really well. One thing I wish they would change a little bit is that it's not see-through. You see all the foliage? Like, it can really block your view of certain things with the camera. So even though right here it's not too bad, there are areas where it will block your view a lot. I kind of screw up the stealth here, thinking that I was going to do my old. You have a whistle, but notice right there. See, you can't just take out everyone. Like, notice how we were not able to do an assassination on that guy. He blocked it. So I'm wondering if it would have been different if we were behind him. Like, if we whistled and then went to the opposite direction and then got behind him, if it would have been a little different. But as you can see right there, we were not able to do it. I'm telling you right now, combat with her is not something you want to get into as much. Like, it's okay if it's one at a time, but if you've got like 3 people on you at once, my recommendation is to run, because she is not a combatant. She is not like strong. She's fast, so she can get, you know, one up on the enemies and stuff like that, but she is not something that you would want to get into a lot of heavy combat with. That's going to be the male character, Yasuke. That's where you're going to want to do that. Yeah, they're magnets. Magnets are back. I mean, this is Assassin's Creed. It magnetizes to things. It's just how all the games have been. Sorry, I've been sick the past few days, so I'm talking a lot, and it's going to have a little effect on my voice here or whatever. But yes, as far as playing with her, you know, my thoughts were, it felt like how I felt like it should do. So you can still assassinate these guys, like from the sides and stuff, but if you try to go up from the front, you're going to be denied a lot more. So you're going to need to make sure that you're behind enemies or above enemies and things like that. The developers did say that you're going to be able to assassinate anyone you want, just like the previous games. However, that option was not available to me. So it was at least not in this demo that I played. I was not able to go to the menu system and select assassinate everybody like we could in Valhalla. So there were people that I were not able to assassinate, obviously. Yes, there's level districts. So, you know, when you go to certain areas, you know, it might be too high of a level for you. And, you know, they're going to be way higher level, harder to do, just like all the previous RPG games were essentially like that. Yes, you can pet animals. I know everybody loves petting all the animals, so I had to show a little bit of that in the gameplay. Let's get on to some more questions. All right. Leo says, parkour, show us side objects and things like that. I didn't really get to do very much side objects. Listen, when there is so many things to do in a game and you have a very short amount of time, you're trying to do as much as you can, but really I didn't really get to do any side objects, but yes, they are in the game and the parkour is beautiful. So if you're wanting that, it's in there. the parkour was really nice. I enjoyed the parkour, especially going from rooftop to rooftop. She's very fast. It's the same kind of thing as it was like with Unity, where if you press RT and B, you'll go down like in a quicker kind of maneuver type of way. If you press RT and A, then you'll kind of do like a big jump kind of thing. And you can take damage from those jumps. You can unlock abilities to be able to not take damage from those jumps because you'll do a roll after you jump from a higher distance. Stuff like that that you're used to in these types of games. Valex says, who cares? Well, I do. So thanks for the question. Who cares? Coyote asks, both characters would be fine, but I like to see a little out of your element, so instead of showcasing your stealth skills, go all out with guns or swords and arrows and blazing. We do that, especially with Yasuke, and you just saw some combat there with her. You're going to see some more up here in just a minute. Interactions with the crowd. I didn't really notice a lot of interactions with the crowd in the area that I was in. I deliberately didn't really do a lot of story content because I wanted to like show off the other aspects. I don't want to ruin the story for everybody out there until we actually get the game in our hands. So I only do one story mission outside of the prologue. And you'll probably see a little bit of that, but I didn't really do a lot of story related stuff because I just didn't want to ruin that for me whenever I'm going through it, because my goal here is to do a platinum for this game 100%. And so I wanted to be able to enjoy the story as much as I could. So I do a little bit of it, but there was a lot more story content that I could have done, but I wanted to go around and experience the combat and, you know, the explorations and things like that more. Inventories from SMRF V7. Inventory gear menus if possible. I just showed that off. There's 3 different weapon slots, and you have your armor slot that you can change the outfit that you have on and stuff like that, which you'll unlock by doing missions or finding them in the environment. And mostly for weapons unlocks, it's like sheaths of weapons. So, you know, they'll change colors, different style of the katana that you're using, but mostly they're the same.
It'll be less trouble if I stay out of sight.
Please do a slow walk from Sentient Hound. I do that. You'll see it here and there or whatever. Walking animations are really good. I think the animations overall have improved between all of the games that we've had previously. So I think they've done a good job with that. You know, more time in the oven means better animations that they've accomplished and more time to polish them and make them look good. Let's see, combat against multiple opponents. You'll see that, of course, even more coming up right here in just a moment. She's very slow when she is holding someone, so I like that. She can barely pick up people, but she is able to pick up. I don't know if she can pick up the big brutes yet. I didn't try that. There's alarm bells for you to knock down. You got to get close enough and then just, you know, use your... Yeah, and then you can do that. But when doing so, you do kind of alert the enemies that are down below, but it also means that nobody can come in for reinforcements. So notice the guy in the middle. He's heavier than we are. They have this armor system, and right now in the current build of the game where I was at my level, I can only assassinate guys with three tags on them, and unfortunately, you know, I lose the stealth right here because of that. But yeah, see, he's got that armor, that yellow armor. So you could stealth assassinate him, but the guys that have the blocks, you can only do up to 3 blocks. I couldn't... There we go. I had to jump down. At least I don't know if there's an ability to be able to jump down on an enemy and do it like a swoosh attack or something like that. But this is something you don't really want to do. You've got these enemies here that will always, you know, fire on you. And you've got the ones that have like kind of... You don't have styles like in Ghost of Tsushima, so it's just one style that your character has. And they don't, you know, they don't like, it's not one at a time. You're going to get hit by multiple enemies at once. And so you've got to be careful. You can see just how hard it is to combat with her. Obviously, there's a lot of maneuvers and stuff that I haven't mastered yet, so I'm not using them, like smoke grenades that you could use, and different types of things to make the battle a little bit easier. But you can take out multiple groups of enemies. It's just not something that I would recommend until you get really, really good with the combat, because you're just getting hit from all sides. It's crazy. Use your specific skills too as well. You've got like, I've got a kick, There's like a special slash move that I have right there that you can do. It turns white when you do that. And you do have executions that you can pull off as well, which are pretty cool. I'm showing all the combat. I'm trying to get to the ones that are a little different. Yes, you can do recruits. So you didn't see me get the recruit, but in just a second, you're going to see me bring in someone else into the battle. This is a different weapon that we're using. I don't remember exactly what they're called, but notice all the little bottom things that he has, those little health bars. So he's like someone you would not. We could actually be able to do it because he's got 3 separate armor things. So we could actually stealth assassinate him, but not that guy right there. You can see our health is based off of just like it was in the previous games where you got to pick up health items to get more health. So right now, as you can see, we just used her and now we have a new recruit that came in to help us. As you can see right there. And so yes, you can have recruits come in and help you. And I'm just kind of going around the environment and letting that happen here. We're going to skip forward a little bit more here because it's just like I said, combat and whatnot. Let's move a little forward here to some more. Like I said, after we're done with this little part, then we'll show off Yasuke. So there's these areas that you can go around that you need to pray at, and then you get special buffs for them, meaning that they're like temples that you go and pray at, and then you'll get a boost to this or a boost to that. Here's another viewpoint that we're grabbing. The game looks great. I think anyone that says the game doesn't look good is just hating, because the game looks great. The way the gear works is, you know, you go around and you find new gear that you can put on and stuff like that. For the shinobi, it's not as much because you're meant to stay in stealthy gear. But for the samurai, you can go around and get different really cool looking gear. You can take it off. So there's different parts that you can have on. If you want this on or that on, you can take it off. I'll show you that later as well. There is a parry system and dodge system. So the parries are mainly for Yasuke and dodges are for her. Yes, you can block certain things or whatever, but she's not as powerful when it comes to that stuff. So most of the parries that you see and whatnot are all going to be from Yasuke. What she does is more dodging and more stuff like that. So she's, like I said, more of a, you know, like strike silently, get out of there type of character. And you have to realize that. A lot of people might go into this game saying, I don't want to play as the samurai, I just want to play as the shinobi. You do that, you're limiting yourself, because you're going to find out very quickly that it's not easy to do. Now, there are trees and stuff that you can climb, but not every tree is climbable. This isn't like it's, you know, some previous games and stuff like that. So you can't climb every tree. You can swim. You can go underwater. There is underwater. There is boats. There is things like that. All the elements that you've had in previous RPG Assassin's Creed games are going to be in here. The map is very similar to the Mirage style of the map, but I would say it's more like the Valhalla style map because it's so big and there's a lot of areas to go to. These are the shrines. So essentially what they are is some of these areas will have multiple shrines that you need to pray at to get buffs and weapons or extra gear or things like that. And so you find, it doesn't just show you where it is, you have to actually go around and look for it. So like, that's kind of like the game. I think they've learned their lesson when it comes to like hand holding as much. This game doesn't like handhold a lot. You've got to figure a lot of things out. When it comes to completing missions, you've got to figure out the mysteries that are involved. The game isn't just going to point the way and show you. Yes, you can crawl in the game. You have a prone and you can crawl. You can stealth in prone position. Yeah, I mean, it's got everything. Let's move on a little bit here. This is just me kind of looking around this little area here. All right, so what I'm going to do now is you're going to see a little bit of mission gameplay. So I'm going to turn my camera off, and I'm just going to let you experience one of the missions that I did. It's not very long, but you'll see the cinemas, the cutscenes, and all that, and I'll just, kind of try to make it more immersive. So I'll see you in just a bit.
You must be the one Lady Nene speaks of.
You could say that, yes.
Good. Come. Lord Kuroda Kanbei awaits.
I was expecting something more discreet.
My lord will soon join Lord Hideyoshi on the front lines. But before he goes, he must secure Harima's borders. To do so, he has welcomed Lord Ukita Naoye, daimyo of Bizen, to attend a Rengakai today.
What is it with warlords and their poems?
An affirmation of the ties that bind our existing alliance. To be clear.
Tokube, I must inquire about those men from Shugo. I did not know they would be attending. Lord Kanbei has demanded the presence of all guests from the west of the country.
Ah, the young Lord Ukita Hideye. I trust your meeting with Lord Kanbei went well.
I think so. Yes. Oh! Who is that with you? You are unlike many of the guests we have here. What are you doing in Himeji?
Official business, my lord.
I see. Based on your appearance, it must be something serious.
You know a lot about this place for a young man, my lord.
As a hostage in the care of Lord Hideyoshi and Lord Kanbei, I have seen many faces come and go. I serve my father to keep the alliance between the Ukita clan and Lord Hideyoshi strong.
That's a big responsibility for someone your age.
Yes, I suppose. Goodbye for now.
Lord Kanbei, your other guest has arrived.
My friend, welcome. You must be the one Lady Nene referred to. Yasuke's ally.
I am Naoe. I didn't expect Yasuke and me to be granted a
Yes,
social
you can
call
play the
from
game
Lord
in
Kuroda
Japanese
Kanbei.
mode. I'm sorry if I haven't answered that. Yes.
I hear you are in
You can play the whole game
while
with
Lord
Japanese
Hideyoshi
audio.
is away. Some say even while he is around.
People exaggerate, and greatly at that. But we are not here to talk about me. There is an impending attack on Lord Hideyoshi's allies, orchestrated by a man who operates in the shadows.
What do you think this man in the shadows wants?
To destabilize our efforts against Mitsuhide? To stop me from marshalling allies and march towards Lord Hideyoshi? I would rather not speculate. I wish to expose this man and his forces in Harima, which is where you come in.
Where do I start?
Today's Rengakai serves as a reminder of our alliance with Lord Ukita Naoye, an ally we rely on.
Just
to
remember that you
secure
could do
Harima's
this
borders.
mission with the other character, and notice
boy's
what they
father.
say.
You've met then.
It kind of gives you
Good.
hints on what the
Hideye
game
was part of the
wants you to
terms
do,
of our
as
alliance.
opposed to what you want to do
He is
yourself.
young, but a bright, precocious boy, a perfect token for the continued goodwill of the Ukita clan. Above all, young Hideye understands his role. He has quickly learned to tamp down his instincts for sentimentality.
I probably won't have the chance to do the Xbox Developer Direct because I'm going to finish
Your
up GTA
token
4
is a
today.
hostage, not here by choice. Of course, he is sentimental.
In our work, sentimentality is a liability for daimyo and warrior alike. We judge ourselves on how we fulfill our obligations. If you did not believe this, then we would not be talking now.
Lord Kanbei, I must interrupt. Oh, we will be starting soon. My father has arrived.
Of course. Thank you, my lord. Many of Lord Hideyoshi's allies will be gathered in one place. Do you understand?
You expect our target to attack today?
Understand what we will face up ahead. Afterwards, I hope you will join us at the Rengakai.
Join you in the one place I can't blend in? If you insist.
Now, I want to pause that for a second because I want you to understand what she just said right there. You want me to be in the one place out in the open, which her character is not really meant to do that. So you can tell that this type of mission right here is more catered towards Yasuke than it is her. However, you can choose who you get to do. I don't know how many missions in the game that you can actually choose who gets to play them, because I can only tell you based off of what I actually played. But everything that I got to do, I got to choose whatever. So she will say something particular, like in that, like, this mission doesn't seem like this should be for me. This mission seems like this should be for Yasuke, because he's the one that can protect out in the open where I can't be. I'm trying not to be seen. That's what her character is. So I love the little nods that they do that with, that say, you know, it just doesn't feel like I should be the one doing this mission.
I would accompany you myself, but my rank simply refuses to do what I ask. Lord Hideye will show you the way.
It's a seamless experience for Canon mode. It makes all the choices for you.
Good to see you again. You seem important.
What makes you say that, young lord?
It's not every day.
I love
escort
follow
a
mode.
shinobi
You can
to
hit
a
that button,
Rengakai
and then that way
filled
you
with
can explore the
daimyos
environment, and it
officials.
walks for you.
You're an
I love
accommodating
that.
host, my lord. What should I know about the Rengakai?
A Rengakai can be many things. A demonstration of insight, or a means to reflect on the nature of things. Given my father's presence, it is likely a declaration of intent. An extension
Sorry, that was my
of the
computer, not the
alliance
game.
between our clans. Lord Yukinaga, on the way to the Rengakai?
I don't believe we've met. I am Lord Kanishi Yukinaga.
I'm Naoe. What brings you to Harima, Lord Yukinaga?
I am assisting Lord Naoya in the reconstruction of the temples and shrines that were destroyed in previous years.
I thought Lord Naoya was a military ally.
Lord Naoya is concerned with the well-being of the people, especially now that it is Lord Hideya's home. These shrines and temples are a reminder to the young Lord Hideya that his father is always present, even when he is not.
I'm not playing it right now. This is the video footage that I played during the demo, Angry. I mean, are you a little confused? I'm just doing a live Q&A on this, showing it off. You guys can check out my videos, which show a lot of this as well, and kind of more straight to the point. This is me kind of just answering your questions while the game is going on in the background, but I wanted to show these cinemas here to give you guys a sense of the story.
Gentle rains turn crystalline. Solid, yet brittle.
Changing of seasons. Another battle, same war.
Interesting.
Apologies, my lord. How might I refer to you?
This battle you speak of, what do you make of it?
More families crushed and innocents killed. It's no different from the battles that have come before or after.
And yet, you are no merchant, not a monk, nor a poet. I would ask why you've come here, but I think I already know the answer.
Which is?
For similar reasons that I am here, I presume. Who do you serve?
I seek to help the people of Harima, if that's what you mean by similar reasons.
A conundrum. Despite all we do, all our capacity for greatness, we are inevitably bound to someone in our power. This Rengakai. The terms of engagement are set by Lord Kanbei's Hokku on the imagery of seasons.
The third poet stanza should reverse the Hokku, right?
I won't be doing two different
The third
playthroughs. I'm
poet
probably just
must
going to
not
do
speak
one,
of seasons.
depending on what
Even
the
if his
requirements
heart
are for the
tells
platinum,
him It
essentially.
is the correct choice.
It looks like you've prepared your lines already, my lord.
A stanza my son wrote for me. We do not see each other often.
Arengakai seems to be a good place to put his work to good use.
I will read it once my business in Harima is settled. My visit here has informed what I will speak about.
What might that be?
Regret.
Ukita Naoie.
The huggy flower. Yearning for soil.
Hey Vic,
it knows.
game is awesome. I'm just trying to be quiet so you guys can see the cinema. here.
Petals fall silent.
The hagi, the flower.
Oh! Unhand him now!
Yeah, the embargo for this was at 12 p.m., so that's why I'm doing this now.
It seems Lord
All the
Kanbei's
footage
hunch
for
was
everything
right.
is out now. So remember, these situations, you would have been better to choose Yasuke. But it's not like you can't do it with her character. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit so you guys can hear me a little better. Now, you see the little red thing that comes up? That's just telling you it's an unblockable attack. You got to get out of the way.
I could not stop all of them from escaping.
Escaping? What did they come for then?
Lord Kanbei, a handful of guards are dead. Commander Tokubei is nowhere to be found.
His body was not found among the dead.
No, my lord. All casualties have been accounted for.
Except for one. They have taken my son. My son!
Lord Naoye, we must trust that whoever took Hideye will not harm him. There is no value in doing so. I will order a barricade of all roads in and out of Himeji. We will find him.
A barricade! I want our men on alert. My own security detail within Himeji. We should hope my son is found soon. For his sake. And for the sake of this peace, Lord
I haven't seen
Hashima
any mythical
Hideyoshi
creatures
so
in my demo,
desires.
so I would say no.
Could this be our man in the shadows?
Those attackers, the Ronin. You smelled it too, right?
Incense. An overpowering smell. Unlike any incense I have ever come across.
In a few days' time, Lord Naoye and I will draw up the next terms of our agreement. A meeting in Himeji Castle.
Not without Hideye. We'll set out on a path to find him. I suspect that same path will lead us to the man responsible.
Lord Kanbei, we've arranged for transport back to your home in Himeji. You will be safe there.
Yasuke, Naoye, exercise caution and discretion. The Alliance cannot be threatened at this time.
Hideye is innocent, just a boy. His safety comes first.
You have our word, Lord Kanbei.
These daimyo use the boy as a pawn in their political game.
When you trade in human lives, everyone is up for barter.
Not if we can help it.
Then it is a good thing we have leads. The castle commander, Tokube, is missing. There's also that strange scent.
All right, so as you can see, it's setting itself up for the next mission, and you can play as whoever it is you want to play. So what I'm going to do here is switch over to him. We're going to choose him, and then now I'm going to show you some gameplay with Yasuke. Both characters, as I said, they're very distinctive in the type of gameplay that they have. So here is Yasuke. I know a lot of people have been waiting to see this. He's got lots of armor. He is a beast when it comes to combat. There's fast travel in the game, of course. And here's what his character screen looks like. And of course, he has his own set, his long katana that he can use, and all of the different mastery points that you need to get. And it's essentially the same way as it is with Naoi as well. The more knowledge points that you get, which is knowledge points you get from doing missions, side content, things like that. That's how you unlock those, and then you're able to use those to actually upgrade your character. Your main weapon is your long katana, or katana, or whatever, and there's different skills that you could use to unlock. It's essentially just like it was in Valhalla in a lot of ways, except they took out that horrible upgrading system where you just endlessly go around and, you know, all the skills there was just an endless repeat of the same thing over and over again, and just kept going. I feel like they've done a great job here. One of the cool things is you can sheathe your weapon, so you still get that badass feeling, and things like that. You're going to notice a huge difference in the gameplay here as we're going to start. Whoa, 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 whoa. Vic, are you kidding me, dude? Vicster. Ladies and gentlemen, Vic just donated $300 on this stream. Holy schnit. Are you kidding me, Vic? I don't even know what to say, man. You and I, we got to have a talk. I'm gonna text you later, man. We got to have a talk. You're not spending your money wisely. I can't thank you enough, man. Geesh. Thank you so much. Right now in this, we're just kind of showcasing some of the different skills that you can do. You have 3 different types of weapons. You have a very long weapon. You have a very, you have your regular katana, and you've got your kind of heavy weapon, which is called the kanabo. I'm sure I'm butchering the name of it or whatever. But if you look in the top right, you'll see right here, it says 6. That's how many points that we have. And each one of these costs different amounts. You know, like usually the first ones cost my 1. But then when you get here, it might be like 2 or 3 points to get to the next level. And he's got essentially the same type of things as she does, except for the weapons. The weapons are obviously a little bit different. He's got a kind of a long rifle that he could use. It takes forever. His Teppo, it takes forever to reload. So you can do executions with it as well, but it's not a weapon you're going to want. It's probably a weapon you're going to want to use when you got one guy left, or you want to get the surprise on someone. With him, he doesn't do stealth kills. He doesn't do like a stealth assassinate. He does a brutal assassinate. It's impossible to do a stealthy takedown with this character. However, if no one else is around, you can easily do the brutal takedown and no one else will hear it. So you can still be stealthy. You can still whistle, still get them to come to you and things like that, but he is a way more powerful type of character. And I'm not going to sit here and waste all your time by showing you all of this. I'll probably have a video just showcasing the skills and stuff like that. You can take a look at the weapons to see how detailed they are, which is really, really good. Yeah, I mean, Very, very impressed. So as far as the character and the armor and stuff, every little piece you can take off. So, and there's transmog in the game, so don't worry about that. If you take any of these off, you can still have it to where you get the effects of what they are, but there are different, you know, just like in every game, you know, you have different armors, and you can take off each individual piece, so you can have him almost completely naked and in a which I think I did show that off here for a quick second. Let me see if I did that. Let me go back a little bit. Okay, so I didn't do it in this one. I did it in the other one. So you can literally take, like I said, you can take all of his clothes off, and then you can just have him, like, running around, like, buck naked almost, with just a loincloth on, which is hilarious. But he's still got all of the armor attributes from having all of his stuff on. Hey, Mega, what's up? He can pet the animals just as much as she can. Obviously, he gets a lot more reactions when he's walking around, things like that. But as far as I can tell, you can't just walk up to any dude in the environment or dudette and talk to them. But you do have a presence. See how everybody's like kind of running away from him? You know, he's got a certain presence to him. So you can fast travel right into a different character, or you can fast travel and keep the same character. You can just kind of see how here is like where the next mission is going to be, and I'm going to show you that specific mission as this character here. So that way we did one mission with her and then one mission with him. But what we're going to do now is show you a little bit of traversing and going around the environment. You can summon your mount, automatically get on like this. It's got the Pathfinder thing on there as well. So just like from the previous RPG games, if you're used to the way that you explore, it's going to be essentially the same. You got your compass, which tells you where the different items are, and you have color-coded things for waypoints that you've set. The environment is beautiful. This is obviously nighttime and not daytime, so you can kind of see the nighttime gameplay here. If you press down on the D-pad, you have your whistle. He can whistle as well. You get this guide on the bottom, so if you need to know where to go for your mission, if you set a waypoint, then you turn the Pathfinder on and it'll tell you where to go. For here, it just points you to the nearest mission as opposed to that specific mission. What we're going to get into now is this kind of secondary mini-game, not really mini-game, but a secondary type of mission that you can do, which is to observe these things. You see this little paint icon here. So there's different animals throughout the environment, and if you get close to them and you observe them, then you draw them. It's kind of like a little mini thing that you can do. I'm not sure how many there are, but there was quite a bit that I uncovered here. There's also these here. When you go to a new region and you see this little prayer thing with the emblem there, just go up to it and then pray. This can be done as either character, and then you'll get buffs for this. See, we got a 50 XP buff for that. There's different buffs that you can get for the prayers. You know, some of them, you know, like your damage will be, you know, plus 10 over the next little while, something like that. I'm gonna show you that little observe thing. So what you want to do is you can't do it on a horse. You got to get off the horse. I didn't know exactly what it was, and then I had one of the developers kind of watching me play, so he was kind of explaining what this is. So your character gets really quiet around. You need to like kind of get down, and then you see they can see you, so you can't be right in front of them. But you can crouch. You can also go prone as him as well. So there you go. See, so he has prone as well. It looks almost ridiculous, but you observe, and this is just like one of the little side activities that you can do. Animals can attack you if you get up to it and you know, you're moving around and stuff. Yes, but these types of animals, no. There's more than just this bird. You know, you're going to uncover different animals that I'll show you a little bit later on. But essentially, you draw them. And there's a bunch of them around the map. So it's just another kind of activity, bird watching in this particular case. And you got 500 XP for it. So, you know, obviously in these big open world games, there's going to be a lot of stuff for you to uncover and do. And that's just what it is. So at this point, we're going to go and do this mission. And I will explain that I do something particular in this mission where you can either get into a fight or not get into a fight, depending on what you say. And I'll let you guys see how that plays out here, and I'll turn my camera off.
Damn it all. That the smell of incense. Are they involved?
Lord Yukinaga, you look troubled.
Yasuke, you remember that smell, yes? When Lord Hideo was taken.
A strong smell of incense on the Ronin. I am hoping it might lead us to the boy Hideo. What is it to you?
I have encountered this particular fragrance before. Many times, in fact. Business associates of mine. They are keen on helping Lord Naoya and I with reconstruction of holy sites. They are a strange group, to be sure, and that smell is unmistakable.
Thank you, Jin. I appreciate you.
My lord, given your involvement, is there a possibility you are also in danger?
I do not know, but thank you for not doubting me. I want to help find the young lord as well.
Is there anything else you can tell me about these merchants?
There is one thing I know about them. These merchants are from Bizen.
The home of Lord Ukita Naoye and Lord Hidei.
The Yokita clan is powerful, but not without its share of enemies. It is not unrealistic that someone from the Western territories will target my lord's alliance with the Lord Hideyoshi. And now, these men are expecting another shipment immediately after
Thank
the
you,
attack.
Blue Leprechaun, for the
Why?
$7.
They come here every
Here
day
to keep supporting
in
you,
large
man.
droves.
I'm ready for Shadow's walkthrough when it comes out. Thank you so much,
give
bud.
this shipment to
Appreciate
them.
you.
Let me go in your place, my lord. I have got some questions for these merchants.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is continue on with the fake merchants here. Now, you can either get into a fight or not get into a fight, depending on what you say. I didn't see anything in the skills that say you have better barter skills or anything like that. So if you just say the right thing, you can not get into a fight. Or if you say the wrong thing, you will get into a fight. Let's see what happens. Yes, I will 100% this game.
Who are you? Where's Lord Yukinaga?
Coyote comes out in
I am
March.
here on his behalf.
He picked an amateur like you. Will this batch of shipments arrive as promised?
Lord Yukinaga has been waylaid, as is the shipment you are expecting.
I knew Kanbei's hounds were onto us. Didn't think it would be that soon.
We need to secure the rest of our shipments to ensure our business can continue later.
Why do you care about the shipments we've already moved?
Kanbei has increased the patrols around Himeji. This is why I am asking about the inventory.
Since when?
Since the incident at Himeji Castle, it did not go as planned, as you are aware.
I assure you, Hontokoji is like a fortress. Not even a crow can fly through its doors.
Hontokoji, a temple. Lord Yukinaga appreciates your vigilance. Be patient, and you will receive what is yours.
Fine. Tell him to pick things up. Our business in Harima remains to be finished.
All right, so that could have went completely different if we wouldn't have made the correct choices. Of course, I had no idea what choices to make. I just made what I thought.
Faster.
So we could have had to have got into a huge fight with them, but we were kind of parading as though we were a bad guy to get them to tell us what to do. So essentially now it says we need to uncover the clues and we need to take a boat. So I'm just going to skip a little bit of this here. We get another one of these. And then we're going to hop in the boat here.
I need this.
It's the same mechanics as it's been in the RPG games here. Nothing's changed, guys. Like I said, if you're not into the RPG style of the Assassin's Creed games, this is probably not going to sway you as much, although I think a little bit of it will because of the assassin character that we're actually playing as, which really feels like an assassin, a ninja style character. And I'm just going to be straight up honest. I had the most fun playing as him. And I'm just being 100% true, is I had the most fun in this game playing as Yasuke. I loved playing as her. She was great. Everything I wanted her to be. But playing as him is just so much fun because he is just such a badass. And he's voiced, and I don't 100% know this, but he's voiced by the same, I think, I'm going to put this because I don't know if it hasn't been put out there yet, and developers never told me or anything, but I think, this is what I think. I think he's voiced by the same voice actor that did Bayek in Assassin's Creed Origins. So I believe it's the same guy. Sounds like him, and I think it is. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. So, in this situation, if you were Naoi, you would stealth this, but you can't stealth this as him. You have to understand who you're playing as. You observe, that's how you're able to mark people. By holding down the LT button, then you're able to mark. He does not have the Assassin's Creed eagle vision, okay? He has no eagle vision. Therefore, you cannot see enemies behind areas.
This ends here.
Now, see, I was in the middle of reloading there, so I kind of screwed that out. But as you can see, you can parry with him. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit so you guys can hear me. He's got some of the coolest execution moves I've ever seen in a game. Just wait till you see some of them. Those, obviously you can block, but it'll definitely, you know, not be good for you to do that because it'll take a little damage and you'll be vulnerable. I mean, he is a badass. So it's like, it was almost like, you know, I'm so used to an Assassin's Creed to like, okay, get back into crouch mode and we're going to stealth the rest of it. Nope. I just said, screw it. Come and see me, baby. Come and see me. Because he is a different beast altogether. But he can still get taken down very easily if you're not smart. And it's just, I have a little bit of trouble, I'm not going to lie, in this part. Look at this elite right here. He's got a lot of health. He's got a lot of bars and sections. And he can damage you very, very easily. Especially with everyone else hitting you at the same time. So, look at how many unblockable attacks he just did. That was like 5 unblockable attacks in a row. So, you can see, you got to be on your game. But this is not a very good showcase of his combat because we're in such a tiny area. So my recommendation, obviously, is not to do this combat right here. Take it out into, like, the open area because it's just, you know, in any game, the camera's going to be wonky and when you're this close. But you have enemies firing at you from all sides. You know, nobody waits. They all try to hit you at the same time. It's good combat. I mean, it's challenging combat. Yeah, you can put people on fire by, you know, lamps and stuff like that you take down, you know. This is my first combat with him outside of the prologue, so I'm kind of flailing around here. Obviously, once you get used to the character and his skills that he has, you're going to make it look significantly better. You can still dodge. You still have a dodge move, but you're going to rely mostly on your parry and counter. Now, what you see here is specifically just his katana. You can, of course, switch to the other 2 weapons that you have, but I mostly use his katana. Really? So it's not him? Well, they haven't announced who the voice actor for Yasuke is yet. At least not to my knowledge. I mean, to me, it sounded like Bayuk was doing it, but it just might be because of the accent, you know. Are you sure Tongayai isn't the Japanese voice actor for Yasuke?
The smell of incense mixed with rifles and gunpowder. So that is what we smelled at the Rengakai. These merchants,
like I said, I don't know. I just thought it sounded like him. Do you see how the game doesn't tell you where it is exactly? You do have to do a little bit of sleuthing. Here I tried just to see if I can stealth. You can still get up against cover. It's automatic cover. There's no button to get into cover. You can still whistle. And once he comes close, you have a thing called a brutal assassination, which is freaking awesome. But there's no enemies around, so therefore nobody heard it, which is still technically a stealth assassination. Now I'm going to skip ahead just a little bit because I want to get to some more combat here. I'm trying to shoot this thing, and it takes a while to reload. You got to get used to that. It's crazy. Now, remember, you saw the well, you didn't, unless you watched the other video. There's these brew guys. They're pretty hard. They just do this pretty much one move, which is like that right there. But these other guys that attack you at the same time can really screw everything up. So you got to take out the little guys first. Notice we called in our friend, and now she's actually dealing damage to him. If you get up to him and he's got low health, and then you hit that, you can do a special takedown with the rifle. I mean, look at that. Oh, dude.
What a fight. Hope you aren't hurt.
It's really cool. Like I said, I really enjoyed playing with him. Now, if you want to switch to the other two main weapons that you have to go into the menu system. You cannot have, at least you cannot have them both equipped at once and switch back and forth from what I've seen. Maybe there's a skill you unlock to do that, but yeah. All right, so what I'm going to show you now is we're going to switch to No-HUD mode. And you're going to see this is what it's like with No-HUD. There's nothing that tells you where your objective markers are at all. They never show up. If you complete a mission, they never show up with No-HUD. I only knew where to go because the developer with me told me go to this guy here. But I'll show this rest of a little bit of gameplay without the HUD.
Lord Yukinaga, I found shipments of incense signed off by you. An innocuous enough good, yet heavily guarded. And then I remembered your reaction to the smell of incense on those men that attacked the Rengakai. The incense you signed off on was actually weapons from Bizen. Did you know?
Incense from Bizen? Yes, of course. But weapons? Of course not. A potential conspiracy has followed Lord Naoya all the way to Harima, it seems. Using temples as cover for their schemes?
Not just temples. I found information pertaining to a suspicious shrine.
What are they moving there?
Nothing that I can tell, but I intend to find out. These places of worship are only temporary stockpiles. Part of the weapons they were moving have already gone to Himeji Castle.
Lord Naoya tried to help Harima, his son's new home, and these monsters have desecrated his work. They would stoop to any level, use a noble cause to get what they want. Utterly shameful behavior.
Keep a low profile, my lord.
I'll do a viewpoint here in a few minutes with him. You'll see. All right, as you can see, nothing shows up on the screen when you complete a mission or anything like that. But there was his mission complete. And now it's essentially just kind of like free roaming around here, showing off. Now, look at how funny it is when he's up here. He can't keep his balance, so he's not an assassin, so he can't stand up here and do all this kind of stuff. So, you know, his character's a little bit different. I'll zoom a little bit far ahead here. This is what it's like just doing your slow walk. I'm going to also take you to do some side content for Yasuke. The side content that we're going to do is called a kata. Can you fish in the game? I haven't seen anything that allows us to fish, and I didn't try. I don't think you can fish. There's no circular menu to choose different things like you could in Valhalla when you were fishing. That's gone. I can turn my camera back on. I mean, look at how beautiful this is. Remember, this is only 1080p. rage fishing video. That would be hilarious. The music feels just like Assassin's Creed. They've got that mixture of Ezio's theme in there, and feels really good. I love the music style that they've chosen. In the prologue, there is some really amazing music that I think you guys are really going to enjoy. They did such a great job at mixing the music for the prologue, and it's really good. Can the horses swim? As far as them like swim underwater, they can move between the water, yes, if that's what you're asking. Can they swim? Horses can't swim. I don't think so. And remember, this is just this little village that we've had access to, so there's whole other villages out there, so much more. I mean, I just was barely able to scratch the surface with the amount of time that I had. I did not try swimming with him, though. That's probably something I should have done. Do you see how afraid everybody is of him? When they see him, they're just like, holy crap. And if you watch my Yasuke video that I did on the channel, you'll see a lot of cinemas from the prologue and gameplay from the prologue that really showcase his skills. And, you know, introduce you to the story of why he is there and how he has become who he is. It might not be true historically, but they did a good job at representing him and a reason why he becomes who he becomes. So make sure you check out that video. Oh, you can teach your... I have no idea if you can teach your horse anything in this game. It wasn't a part of the demo that I played. Trust me, if there was anything that was cool like that, that was introduced to me during this, I would show you. So what this right here is a shrine. This particular shrine, there are three prayer circles that you can get into. I'm just going to show one. Now see, you can't climb everywhere with him. There are some places you can, but... Watch when he lands here. Oh, I hit the circle button, or the B button while I was doing it, so it didn't show it. So the developer told me go directly behind me because there's a praying spot. Now, obviously the praying spot would show up much easier if I wasn't in no-HUD mode, so he's kind of like guiding me at this point to where I need to go to pray. Which is why it looks weird, like I don't know where the spot is. Controls are very similar to Valhalla and Mirage. I mean, except for when you're playing as him, it's a little different. Because he's more of an action. See how you got 1 of 3? And then you just go around and you just find the other ones, and then you get a big thing at the end. So I'm going to turn back on that. And as you can see, your armor piercing is temporarily increased. So getting all 3 gave us a buff to our armor piercing. And it looks like there's an observe here too, but I don't think I... Yeah, I do get it. Let's move on. Let's see, because I'm trying to get through this here. Remember, all this gameplay here you're going to see, you'll find in those videos here. There's more of the map here. You can see that this is just this area that we're going around. And at this point, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you getting a viewpoint, how hard it is to get a viewpoint with this character. However, the viewpoint that I'm going to select here is a very difficult viewpoint to get because it's up on like a mountain. So other viewpoints will probably be much easier to get with him, but this one is quite a challenge to get with him. Yeah, I'm playing the PC edition of the game. There's only controversy to this game because of Ubisoft themselves and the practices that they've done over the past few years. So that's why there's controversy on this game. Otherwise, there would be no controversy. The gameplay that I've played, the developers have taken a lot of time to polish it, and it felt really, really good. And I enjoyed everything that I got to play. I don't use I don't use those other instances. We're going to get into a fight here. I'll show it off. This is a gaming channel, therefore I understand why people might not want to play this game, you know, based off of their love or hate for Ubisoft. But when I play this game, it's because I love Assassin's Creed and I want to play games that I love. You can switch characters at any time, yes. Notice how his armor comes off once you hit him a certain amount of times? These guys only have one style hit and they're all unblockable, so just remember that. He took out the big guy. Look at that. Or I guess that's a she, maybe. I love the sheathing animations and stuff. Alright, so we're going to get around to this. Here we go. So there's a viewpoint right above us. Now, if we were playing as Naoe, it would be super easy because we could use her grappling hook to get up there. But when you're playing as him, you can't just, you know, you have to, see, you can't climb to that right there where she would be able to. You have to use other means to get around the environment. I almost wanted to go in there and see what was inside that cave, but I played about 3.5 hours of the game. It was just one section. And I played the prologue. I played the entirety of the prologue, which was about an hour long. Now, Yasuke can't climb this. She would, you know, the Naoe can, but Yasuke would have to use these things like here, where he can jump across these to get higher and higher. I just played a very small portion. This is a big game. So I don't think it's going to be as long as Valhalla. I'm pretty sure they learned the lesson to not make the game that much. But it is, I think it is going to be a longer game than, say, Mirage. It seems like there's a lot more activities to do. Mirage didn't have a lot of extra activities to do outside of the main story, whereas this one feels like there's significantly more extra activities to do. So you notice how, you know, these things are here as if you're playing for him. With her, you can easily get up because she'll be able to climb those little things that you see there, those little indention holes in the rocks. He can climb some of them, but he can't climb them all. They have to be close enough. You're not Spider-Man. This isn't like the other Assassin's Creed games the past few times where you can just climb everything. I mean, they took that away, and I think that's a good thing. Because I just felt it was so unrealistic that the person could climb as much as they were climbing. But here we go. So now you're going to get to see one of the funniest things for me was when we got up here and we got a viewpoint. I'm just going to let this speak. Hey, Jaish.
Next time will be better.
Oh, my back. I just thought that was so... I just thought it was so funny. Alright, so what we're going to do now is show a side. This is one of the side activities that Yasuke can do.
I saw the shadow of a swallow's wing pass overhead. I reached out with my blade and cut it clean from the sky. Such deftness is what I offer to teach you.
These are katas. So essentially it's just mini games, and I was learning here, so I fail a few times. because it doesn't tell you whether or not you need to press or hold. So you got to learn them on the fly. Essentially, all you're going to want to do is just press it. So you hold when it looks like that. You press it, obviously, the time when it looks like that. Other ones will be regular presses. Other ones will be holds. You can't fail it, technically. You'll just keep repeating it until you get it. Again, hold when they look like that. Press when they look like that. Very simplistic, basic minigame that once you get used to it, you can get it. Now, the next style will change a little bit. You got to remember that there is a delay with my play here because I'm playing remotely. This is not me. These are, I thought, when you see that little thing right there, you think, keep pressing. Don't. You just press once. So that's just press once. Do not, like, hit it a bunch of times or else you'll fail. I thought it was because it was pulsing, so I thought, okay, just keep hitting it. But no. Just hit it once. I just hit the wrong buttons there. And there's one more to do. And there you go. And so this will obviously give you some XP and unlocks things for you. I believe this gives us a new weapon. I know, I need to be better. Unfortunately, he doesn't do the gladiator thing where he puts his arm out like in Assassin's Creed Origins and brushes the grass. I was kind of hoping he would do that, but he doesn't do that, unfortunately. So this is what it's like to change characters on the fly. You go here, you press hold X. Now, what's going to happen is it'll go into this little cutscene. Yeah, I'm scared of how much more expensive the games are getting.
A group of strange men has followed Lord Naoya from Bison, using
And now
his
it's her.
temples and shrines to hide their weapons. These men have moved their weapons into Himeji Castle.
You
They
can change
helped
the aspects
kidnap
of what you're
Lord
wearing.
Hideyoshi.
So if you want to take off your hood and all that kind of stuff, you just go to the inventory and then you can do all that. I'm not sure when I'm going to do the Splinter Cell thing. I need to test it first. Remember, the only available area that we had was literally down in this area. Otherwise, it blocked us, like the Animus normally does, where it has like a barrier. So we didn't get to like travel too far out from where this location was. I don't know if I can tell you that, Mario, because I didn't get to see any of the graphic options in my playthrough. They were not there at all. All I know is that I was playing the game on a machine that was playing it in 1080p, 60 FPS. And you've seen that the game was running 60 FPS the whole time. So I didn't see any glitches with the graphics whatsoever. But I can't tell you what card was on this machine because I had no idea. Remember, I'm only able to control the game. I can't control the entire computer that the game was running on. So if you'll notice that the only HUD I have on is a very minimal HUD. This is what it is when you just have the simple HUD on, which just shows the compass. And by the way, I moved our stream for Grand Theft Auto 4 to 230, so in about an hour. So this is what it'll be like if you choose simple HUD. The options that you have don't show up, like what your, your health options, things like that. And this is what it's like to go up against a big character with her. See, if you dodge, then you get some opportunities to hit. So it's kind of like a few hits, get out of there, wait till he's done, a few hits. Much easier to tackle these big guys with just one person you're fighting. I've heard that the 5080s and stuff is going to be pretty cheap, so it might be a little easier. There you go.
Well, that worked out.
Look at that animation right there. Oh, I love it. And that was me actually doing it. So just like in Ghost of Tsushima, you can hold down the, well, in this game, you hold down the right direction pad, and then it'll sheath whatever weapon you have. And then we're going to turn the HUD back to normal. That was when it was on minimal. We're just going to, I think, do we? No, I think we go to simplified. And you can customize the HUD too. Do you see the bottom one there? So you will be able to customize where you put things. You know, I always try to have the biggest and best card just so I could show off games at their highest. But I will not be able to get a 5090 at all, I don't think. At least for a few years, probably. Just, you know, I think the 4090 will hopefully do me good for the next couple of years still. But they're just too expensive. 4090 is going to be about, what is it, 1,500, I think? Or for a 5090? Or 1,200 or something like that. Love the wind. Wind's really good in this game. I mean, it looks good. These are those prayers that you need to go to. They give you buffs, remember? Or they can give you different things. Some give you buffs, some give you other stuff. That we got an armor piercing. So you could easily scare the pictures that you need to do, or the these little paintings or drawings that you're doing. So you got to be careful. Hey, Roberto, how you doing, bud? Always want to sneak up on these to observe, and again, both characters can do this mini game here.
I need to be quiet.
You see the white outline? That means they're completely stealthy. That means nobody can see them. If you see that white outline, it means that you don't have to worry about being seen. You can insta-kill, yes. As long as you've got the right angle. If you try to instant-kill from the front, you will most likely be blocked.
Got it.
I did not see any mini-game to insta-kill like you had in Valhalla. No mini-game. The developers did say that you will have the option of taking it all off so that you can insta-kill everyone, but it was not in this preview that I played. You can crawl in the ground, even in the water as well. Yes, there are 4 seasons in the game. Obviously, you've got winter, summer, spring, and autumn. So as the story progresses, the seasons will change. So you got the whole map like normal, but as the story progresses, Now you might be 5 months later and it's winter time and there's snow all over the place. So there is snow in the game, although I played in this specific season because this is where we are in the story. That was an assassination kill.
This one was
without
carrying a letter.
him
So
seeing.
we're being hunted by Mitsuhide's Ronin, are we?
Notice what just
I'll
happened.
keep watch for them.
Randomly came across somebody who had a letter for us to do a side mission. So when you see enemies about, maybe take them out, and then you might unlock new things to see. Here's your objectives. Obviously, you have a bunch of people that you need to take out through the story. I'm not going to go too much into that. And then that's how that unfolds, just like it was in Mirage, really. There's your hideout. However, I did not get a chance to actually go to the hideout. You have a dojo, you have different places to practice, things like that. I mean, it's got a lot of good stuff in it. And I think it looks great. I think the gameplay is great. I enjoyed it. I felt good playing it. I felt good playing Valhalla too, but it didn't feel like Assassin's Creed to me, where this game feels like Assassin's Creed to me.
From horseback.
So,
I need to be quiet.
you know,
Stay low.
some people are not going to play this game just because of one reason or another. I'm here. I'm going to play it. I'm going to enjoy it. I hope it does well. It's not up to me. All I can do is show you guys the gameplay that I love and show you the games that I love. I'm a huge AC fan, and I want people to respect the game that is being shown and remember that there are hundreds and hundreds of people that have nothing to do with all that other stupid stuff. These are developers that have spent the last 5-6 years of their lives to make and create this content, hoping that you will like it. So I hope it does well. I don't know if it will. See, doing that little side mission got us a wall decoration back at our hideout, at our dojo. So, you know, go around the environment, do different things, and you'll unlock things that you can use in other parts. Will it redeem Ubisoft? I don't know, because there's so much hate in this world that some people just want to hate forever and never learn to forgive or to move on. I'm a forgiver. I'm a mover-oner. There's too many people at stake in these games for me to hate on something that might have nothing to do with them. So I do it differently. Here's something cool. This is not a mission she can do. Notice how he says samurai, but you can still talk to him. This is not a mission you can do.
Yabusame training here? Or is this just a show of skill?
I offer little instruction, but practice is the best training. But it is an impressive display of skill for a samurai.
I'll send my friend Yasuke. His skills are most impressive.
So you pronounce his name Yasuke, not Yasuke. I always put the U in there, but this is another one of those side content that you can do with Yasuke, which is essentially just going down with your horse and doing, you know, bow and arrow kind of thing. Pretty cool. We're nearing the end here. There's really not too much. I think I do some underwater. Yeah, I mean, guys, that's about it for my gameplay. You know, I go back to the castle here and try to do a little bit of this. It's so difficult to situations like this. You're not, even as this character, you're not going to be able to go and just stealth every character. It's not, there's no place to hide here. You know, you have to separate them and stuff like that. It's a lot different. It's not the same as the previous Assassin's Creed game. So don't, you know, it's the same mechanics in some ways, but a lot of things are also different. Yeah. And I, just like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed it. We'll leave here using smoke grenade. You can see how they run because they're smart. But you can see just how hard it is to take out these characters. I mean, it's not like as Naoi, you're not going to be able to just to go around and do everything that you think you could do in previous games. It's different. You have to realize that. So I'm just trying to open your mind that this game is going to feel different than the previous Assassin's Creed games, because you have two characters with two distinct art styles and just distinct regular gameplay styles, and you can't just go up to a group of enemies and take them all out super easy. It's going to be a real challenge because it's not the same. All right, Vic, thanks, man. Love you, bud. And even I was not actually able to complete this because they're too hard hitting, and I was trying to showcase some of the different weapons here. We got the old ball and chain here. See? Even when you block and you block it perfectly, that's what happens. It's just a dodge. So she doesn't really have parries. She just kind of like dodges out of the way. But as you can see, and there's no health around here, so it's not like you can re-health up, but you can do it. You can beat these guys, and it's just me, you know, still trying to learn between the two characters. It's going to take time. It's not, like I said, something you can just get into. It's a different style of game, period. But I enjoyed my time with it, and I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. So, yeah, there we go. So that's the footage that I was able to capture. You pretty much saw almost all of it. There is more footage actually in my 2 videos, so make sure you both check out those videos because I show off the prologue. So you will get to see more combat and more stealth and more cutscenes from the prologue section. So I'm not going to show that here. That entice you a good reason to go and check those 2 videos out. So if you go to my channel, you see I have these 2 videos already out. Not that one, but right here. Go and check those out, guys. I would really appreciate you, and make sure you comment on them. One is 28 minutes, one is 17 minutes. And there's more footage than what you just saw that I have. I have a lot of B-roll footage as well that showcase each character and story-related stuff as well. But yeah, so thank you all for tuning in. I hope I answered a lot of your questions. If you have more questions, just put them in the comments on the videos, and I'll do my best to answer them from there as well. I'm so excited for when this game comes out in March. Hopefully I'll be able to get an early copy so that I can have a review ready for you guys and all that good stuff. But my plan is to do this game 100% and platinum it. So that's the goal. I don't know how long it's going to take. Obviously, it's a new game, and that'll be done in March. So I hope you guys are ready for it. I know I am, and I'm super excited. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to play more. I literally wanted to play another 4-hour session. I didn't want to give up the game when I had to, but they're so busy. So many people had chances to play, other content creators and things like that. So share these videos, do all that good stuff. Thank you all for tuning in. As of right now, in about 30 or so minutes, we will finish up the story of GTA 4 for our platinum guide on that one. So hope to see you for that stream as well. Other than that, love you all. And oh, the Naoi had a misspelled error. Where? Oh, I see it. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Sorry, I was sick yesterday and spent most of the day in bed. So I didn't get a chance to edit these videos until this morning. So I've been up all morning editing this stuff. Because I just played it on the 21st, and then I was sick, and I've been in bed pretty much the last 2 days. So Jen's sick, Ella's sick, snow's on the ground, so there's been no school. Thank the Lord for that. Yeah, we just got to get through the sickness and keep going, and hopefully everything will get better. So love you guys, be safe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.